The best high school football officials are the ones you never notice. That's what some would say. For 4 decades, Andy Scott has tried to go unnoticed, but tonight he is on Channel 5. And as a longtime Valley official says, you're only as good as your next call. Andy Scott is this week's Gridiron hero.
The way we judge a football facility, that everybody's looking at the turf and the stands and everything like that. No. Have we got a hot shower? That's the criterion, basically.
A football official that's been to every Valley stadium and many across the state. Andy Scott knows what he likes. And by the way, he says the Astrodome had cold showers. Scott began his long officiating career in August of 1972.
Over in Mercedes at Magic Valley, had a little meeting room and everybody in there. So once they did what they did, they had everybody stand up and say your name and where you lived. So I stood up and said, I'm Andy Scott from Monte Alto. And everybody looked around like, who's this guy? You know?
Who knew then that Scott would become one of the Valley's longest tenured officials? And now, 46 years later, Scott says he still loves the job.
There's never been a perfect game officiated, and so there's a certain reward to doing something that's such a challenge and to be not just good at it, but hopefully to be great at it.
While football teams enjoy wins, officials have a different kind of satisfaction.
After the contest, everybody walks away and says, you know what? Wasn't perfect. We got humans there, but you know what? Both ball clubs had their shot. Everybody had their chance.
In 2014, Scott was honored as an official for the state's All-Star football game. It's one of the highlights of a long career that's included hundreds of games.
You guys come up with the game of the week every week, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all try to say the game of the week.
Right.
Trust me, for the officials, whatever game it is, I don't care where it is, that's my game of the week, okay? We want to make sure that we get it right, basically.
And one more note about Scott. He says fans have actually cheered for him before. It happened during halftime of a game in La Feria one year when someone accidentally locked Scott in the dressing room. When halftime was over and it was time to kick off again, they could not start the game because they couldn't find Scott. Eventually, someone figured out Scott was in the dressing room, and when he finally entered the stadium, the crowd erupted.